Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Deva Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Wherever I is involved in any kind of activity, the net result is tiredness. Anything where I is involved. Take an example, a solid example. We do pranayama. So do Anulom Vilom. How many times? 9,999 times. Oh God, no, this is too much. Okay. Do it for 1,000 times. It will take lot of time. Okay. Do it for 100 times. Okay. After 10, 20, 30, how much? Another 70. Can I stop it? I am tired. Okay, don't do it. Now, you have been breathing right from childhood. Stop breathing. Are you not tired? See the difference. When I do pranayama, I is born. Wherever I is born, tired days is bound to be. Where I is not born, there is no word. Yasya nahang kruto bhavaha buddhihi yasya na lipyate hatvapi saiman lokan nahanti na nivadyate. Yasya nahang kruto bhavaha. He who is not contaminated by the notion of doership, and buddhihi yasya na lipyate, and he whose mind remains untouched by all activities that are being done through him, hatvapi sa iman lokan, even if he happens to kill the whole world, he doesn't incur any sin. See friends, when we live in this world, normally either we act or we react. When we act or we react, there is every possibility that we precipitate impressions on our mind in the form of likes and dislikes. That is called a buddhi leka. The intellect or the mind is influenced by our own activities. If the activities are good, Vanyoti sadrusho maya, who is like me, I am a good person, I have done this much of charity, I have done this much, gone to the holy places and made those places unholy. Or else if I have done something wrong and then all the time frustration, oh God, imahagam papam akaravamiti, Taittiriya Upanishad, why did I do these wrong things in my life? Because wherever I is there, mind will be influenced. Therefore here we have to clearly understand how the Gita talks about freedom from this virus called as I. You know there are three types of viruses. If you remember last time I spoke to you. One is the biological virus. Dr. Lee will tell you. Biological virus is like the HIV virus, the biological. Second is the computer virus. It is illogical. There is a logical fallacy introduced in your software and then it goes in loop and loop and loop. And this I is illogical. There is no logic. So one is the biological, second is logical, and third is illogical. Our I is an illogical virus. And whenever the virus infects a system, it becomes totally hang up. And this is how our life as we become old अब जी के क्या करेंगे. There is frustration, there is depression. इससे तो मरना ही अच्छा है. But they don't die also. See friends, this tiredness, this frustration is the baby of this non-existing entity called as the ego. See friends. And therefore here this Avadhuta Maharaj is very clearly telling, he says in the 8th mantra, na manasam karma shubha shubham me, na kayikam karma shubha shubham me, na vachikam karma shubha shubham me, jnanamrutam shuddhamatindriyoham. I do not get involved in any kind of activity, whether at the level of the mind or the body or the speech. Now see what happens in our life. We are constantly struggling that, I should all the time think about God, and therefore we start doing this wrong. And the more we want to get involved in the Lord's name, the more the mind becomes violent. And then we start getting disgusted about our own mind. Why such dirty thoughts come in my mind? Because I is thinking. Till such time, this I is thinking, there is bound to be misery in life. Therefore, let the thoughts come and go. Who cares? I'll tell you one simple technique. Try. As you listen to Vedanta, so you listen to the world. Very simple technique. How many times we have heard Satchidananda Dvitiyosi, Jiva Sakshat Parabrahma Paramatma. But if you are told you are a Dumbo, don't call me Dumbo. See? The truth we don't like. The false we like. This technique was known by Bhagavan Krishna. Therefore, in the 9th chapter, he doesn't tell the truth straight away. I am going to tell you the truth. No, I am going to tell you a secret. Raj Vidya, Raj Guhya Yogo Nam. The moment somebody talks about somebody's secret, we are fully attentive. Do you know about Gupta ji? But why should I tell you about him? He is your friend, I don't want to put you two together fighting. It's okay, forget about it. But what did he say? No, I didn't expect this thing from him about you. You are his friend. Anyway, I don't want to get involved. Now that person is fixed. Till he wants to know, what is that he said about me. Raj Vidya Raj Guhya Yogo Naha. Therefore, na manasam karma shubha shubham me. Never fight with the mind. Never try to control the mind. Paramananda ji will become angry with me. See, I am a maid Swami, Anubhavananda. He is by birth Paramananda. Therefore, he is always happy and I have to pretend to be happy. Friends. Therefore, the moment you try to control the mind will be revolted. Recently I was probably in Pune or somewhere, and one couple, young couple, they have got two daughters. Not daughters, two sons. Elder son is about 6 years and the younger one is about 2 years or 3 years. And he used to come for my talks for many years. And he said, Swamiji, I tried to tell my wife, come for satsang. She will revolt. Did I object to your going? No, why do you compel me? Do what you like. I am not going to. I used to feel so bad. Why she doesn't understand how important it is. And then slowly, somewhere some of your CD was left. And the child came and just pressed and he started playing. And the child was listening. Naturally she has to hear. And slowly she got involved. And this time for the camp they came, all four of them came. And the child was so sweet. All the time he will hang around me, talk to me non-stop. And while they were leaving, as usual, he came, did namaskar. He didn't tell his wife, go and do namaskar, because revolt. No, I won't. So he came and he said, let's go. So she said, have you said goodbye to Swamiji? Yes, I did say. Get in the car. Wait a minute. Then she came with her son. And the son did namaskar to her car. And this girl could not control herself. And then so much deeply touched. I said, my dear baby, what's wrong with you? Complete metamorphosis. 180 degrees. Because she was not forced. It has happened. Exactly the same way we force our mind. Chittavritti nirodhama yuva. By biting your teeth, you cannot control your mind. Dear friends, there are only two ways. Number one, discipline the mind. When we get up, when we eat, Bhagavan Krishna says, Yuktahara viharasya, yukta chestasya karmatu, yukta swapnavabodhasya, yogo bhavati dukkhaha. Dukkhaha, the destroyer of miseries. For us, yogo bhavati dukkhada. Because I is involved. And when the life is disciplined, I is not allowed to sprout. Whether I want to get up or not, there is no question. You have to get up, you have to get up. See friends, similarly eating food. You know, those who are imported brand, they know. Breakfast they will take only oatmeal and cold milk. Lunch hardly they will eat. And evening when they come from work, they bounce on the food as if they were without food for last 25 years. Bounce. And they go on eating. And that type of food habit makes them glow. On the contrary, eat 4 times a day. Every time eat little. It is easier to observe fast for 21 days. It is extremely difficult to eat all the 365 days 3 times extremely good food and yet little food. That is the discipline. So unless we discipline our mind, there is no possibility of controlling the mind. And for the discipline, what is required? No logic is required. Discipline is discipline. See? Why should I drive the car on the right side? I am from India. I like to drive from the left side, then go back to India. Here it is like that. For discipline, there is no logic. And once we get into that discipline mode, then educate. Educate the mind. So the discipline plus education is called as control over the mind. See, friends. Such a person who has full control over his mind, he will stop reacting with the world. And when you stop reacting with the world, no karma is born. Many times it happens in our lives. I wish I had not said like this thing to him. Only go on wishing. Happy birthday, Happy New Year. Because there is no control. Therefore, first, na manasam karma shubha shubham me. And when we are thus maintaining our mind at a level of 0 options, then neither good nor bad will ever happen. Our struggle is, I want to do good to others. God has failed. No, we want to do good to others. Take care of yourself. I tell you, I am a victim of that goodness. Many times, with a view to do good, they will do more harm. No, like when I sit in the car. No, I am not a baby, I know how to close the door. So one day I was sitting and my hand was like this thing. And somebody spoke to me, so hand remained, and one person came, Swamiji, get out. My fingers were Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. Swamiji, did you get hurt? I said, no, I am having fun. Did you get hurt? See? This kind of uncalled for, uncontrolled activities happen because I is wanting to do good or wanting to do bad. Do neither good nor bad. Let the things happen. Now, Manasam karma shubha shubham me, na kaikam karma shubha shubham me. If this is the story of the mind, same is the story of the body. It happened once. That day I learned a lesson. Probably somewhere, I don't remember, we were going by car and my friend told me, Swamiji, I'll take the car next to that car, please tell them that one of the doors of the car is broken. So I say, excuse me, your car door is open. Who asked you? I said, yes, you are right. That day onwards, mouthshut.com. Don't get involved, unwanted. We have no business. And then after that we regret and frustration. Then, na vachikam karma shubha shubham me. In Manusmriti, about speech, there are 10 points told. I give you only one. Rest homework for you. Google Manusmriti and find out on speech. You will get only 1 point. More than what we should talk, we should know what we should not talk and when. More damage happens because this uncalled for involvement. And once you get into that chatterbox, even God cannot protect us. We go on, blah, 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 blah. See? That is why when I go by car, I avoid taking anybody with me. One word I have to talk, my whole work goes only in the car. Either phones are working, I take time to something. If someone else is there, and then they are attentively listening, immediately it goes on the internet. Swamiji had 3 sneezes in a row. Then I get phone calls. The other day I received half a dozen phone calls. Swamiji, how are you? I said, I am all right. No, we heard that you are in ICU. I said, I am sorry I disappointed you. See? Therefore, let us not get involved because jnanamrutam shuddham atindriyoham. When we go beyond these faculties of body, speech and the mind, then alone we can be free from the virus of ego. Friends, if somebody is tamasic, he can give up the laziness and grow. If somebody is rustic, he can give up that and grow. If somebody is sattvic, goody, he has come to a plateau. He cannot grow because now what is more there to be known? But the bondage of goodness and badness is equally the same. The other day I heard one story in one satsang, very enchanting story. There were 2 persons in a village. One was eating lot of chilies and the other was drinking lot of basundi, that thick milk. And both of them took heavy quantity. And as a result, there was a strike in the Madhya Pradesh. So, this Chili Bahadur, he went with the lota out. And this Basundi Bahadur, he also went lota out. And they happened to meet each other 10 times in a day. Then they asked, hey, what happened to you? What did you eat? Come on, yaar, I ate lot of chilies and my stomach is still. But do you also eat chilies? No, I ate basundi. So as much the chilies can cause problem, so much basundi can cause problem. In the same way, as much tamo guna can cause problem, sattva guna can also cause problem. You have to go beyond the three. See, this is what you know, that Tripunda, Lord Shiva's devotee, they put the three lines. They are not the railway lines. These are the three gunas, tamas, rajas, sattva. He who has transcended beyond them and burned the three gunas, prakriti, and made a ash of it, and that becomes in vibhuti, it becomes glory. Therefore, it is necessary that we do not get involved, because this is going to happen incessantly. We are nothing to get involved in this. Jnanamrutam Suddha Atindriyoham, the immortal, peaceful, blissful self that I am. Mano vai gaganakaram, mano vai sarvato mukham, manotitam manas sarvam namanaha paramartataha. Now all what you have learned so far will be destroyed. There is a principle in management. I was in Ahmedabad Management Association, and one person asked this question, Swamiji, we have been listening to you for so many years. Every time we feel we are listening something new and good. After the lecture is over, we are again blank. We don't know what we have learned. So tell us in one line what exactly you have been telling us. I said, look here, a very simple principle. Either convince or confuse. I follow the second part. See, friends. Now here, the same topic. Mano vai gaganakaram. Mind is like space. What is space? Space includes everything, but doesn't get influenced by anything. Mind entertains holy thoughts, unholy thoughts. Mind entertains divine thoughts, devilish thoughts. But the mind is never influenced by anyone else. Manomai gaganakaram. And the mind doesn't have any shape. There is one principle, please understand. Tattva, the truth, is always formless. Like the light. Light doesn't have any shape. When the light falls on an object, it takes the shape of that object. But the light per se doesn't have any shape of its own. The same thing is the mind. When the mind comes in contact with the colors and forms, it takes the shape of the colors and form. When the same mind comes in contact with the sounds, it takes the shape of the sound wave. When the mind comes in contact with the smells, it takes the form of the smells. The one which can take every form has to be formless. See, mano vai gaganakaram and mano vai sarvato mukham. Mind alone is supporting the whole world of relative existence. Sarvato. And further, manotitam manaha sarvam. And the truth is that the mind is, in fact, although everything, yet beyond everything. See, like technically it will be called as, the truth is simultaneously immanent and transcendental. It is in and through everything, and yet beyond everything. So also, this whole relative world is supported by the mind, and yet the mind is beyond all the relativity. See, it is the mind alone which gives us the waking experiences. It is the mind alone which gives us the dream experiences. It is the mind alone which gives us the deep sleep experience. And yet, in the mind, none of them ever exist. Therefore, mano titam manaha sarvam, and ultimately na manaha paramartataha. But in truth, mind never exists. See, now get this point very clearly. Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi talks about the spiritual practice in his text called as the Upadesha Sar. Over here also there are people, I think. Upadesha Sar. In Upadesha Sar, he talks first about the path of karma. Ishwararpitam nechaya kritam chitta shodhakam mukti sadhakam. When you do the karma without the desire and without the obsession of I, but surrendering to the Lord, the mind becomes pure and becomes the means of realization. Then he talks about the path of devotion. That when the mind is engaged in devotion, the mind becomes available single-pointedly for anything else. Then he talks about the discipline in the mind by the path of yoga, where he says that the prana bandhanat liyate manaha eka chintanat nashametyadaha. By the practice of pranayama, the mind can be controlled, and when a controlled mind is engaged in contemplation on the one, the mind disappears. Mind cannot exist only in one. Mind requires a sequence for its existence. Mind cannot exist without a sequence. See, breathing is a non-stop sequence. Stop the sequence, mind stops. After having said this, then the teacher says, why do you bother yourself about the mind? Purify the mind, make the mind single-pointed, make the mind disciplined. Before you want to solve a problem, find out what is the mind. Manasam tu kim. What is the mind? Marga arjavat. It is a straightforward road. And when you inquire, you come to know, naiva manasam. There is nothing like mind. See friends, if you get this point, you are learned tremendously well. See, the light because of which everything is seen. We have the light waves, the frequency, the intensity, the power, the voltage, everything. Because all these attributes are associated with the light, is light a reality? See friends, the truth is, because we can experience something does not mean it is real. We experience sunrise and sunset. That doesn't mean that there is the sunrise and sunset. See friends. Therefore, when you inquire about this mind, it is like the light. Mind happens like the light happens. When the anode and cathode are joined together by a filament in a bulb in a particular condition, then only the light happens. But now there is no bulb. Then shall I do one thing? What? Keep one cathode in one hand and an anode in one hand and switch off. Then the light will come through the... No. You require a particular condition. Then only the light will happen. In the same manner, when consciousness expresses through the body as mind, then only this world comes into existence. See? Next step. When the bulb becomes fused, where does the light go? Will the light come out of that bulb like a jiva, like a soul, and in search of a bulb where there is no light and enter there? No. Light is just a manifestation. It is not the individuality. But if you take Karma Kanda, then yoga, then Sankhya, then your devotion, everywhere they will be frightening us. If you do this thing, you will go to hell. But Guru Maharaj, if I go to hell, will you come there? Naturally, I will have to come. Don't get lost in this. This is what the teacher says here. It is only mental hallucination. And what is that I? So when we inquire what is the mind, we come to know mind is an interaction between two types of thoughts, the I thought versus the not I thought. And all the not I thoughts are dependent on I thought. Therefore the I thought is the mind. And when the I thought minus the thought, what remains is absolute reality. This is what Patanjali says, Chitta Vritti Nirodha, but it is incomplete definition. Tada drashtuhu sarupya avasthanam. See, in Sanskrit, when tada comes, it is assumed that earlier it was yada. Yada tada. Yavat tavat. So when your thought process has totally stopped and you have not gone to sleep and you abide in your essential nature, tada yogam avapsasi, then you are established in the yoga. Therefore, yoga is not only chitta vritti nirodha, but abidance in your own divine nature. Tada drashtuhu sarupe avasthana. Our essential nature is divine. It is for this purpose the yoga is advocating the suspension of the thought process. Therefore, manotitam manaha sarvam na manaha paramatata. From the absolute standpoint, there is nothing like mind. See, friends. But our whole life is spent only on mind. There were two psychiatrists. Both of them were practicing together and classmates practicing in the same city. And both of them got retired. One of them became a patient, other did not. The one who became a patient, he asked to the other, hey man, we have been listening to all these patients throughout our life and I ended up in becoming a patient. How come you did not become? When these people were talking all the time the same rubbish, the other person said, who was listening? They were talking, I was not listening. Why do you listen? See? That is why a good Vedantin can be a good psychiatrist. He did not listen. Acha, go, that's it. Mano vai gagana karam, mano vai sarvato mukham, mano titam manaha sarvam, namanaha paramatma. Therefore, don't give too much importance to the mind and the emotions. I did hurt. You will continue. Don't try to make anybody happy. Don't forget, we belong to a democratic setup. Everybody has got a freedom to do miserable. Tadastu. We try to make others happy. Never do that. God has failed. Could He make us happy? Narayan. Ahamekam sarvam yomatītam nirantaram pashyami kathamatmanam pratyaksham va tirohidam. If I alone is the reality, idam sarvam. See? There is no possibility of anything other than I. Now let us investigate this principle. See, the spiritual practice according to Vedanta Shastra is only one. Analyze your experiences and learn from your experience. Books can give us only the arrow marks. If somewhere is written, arrow mark, Kaivalya Dham, you don't go and hold on to that post gate. You have to walk that arrow. In the same manner, here arrow marks are given in the scriptures. So what is given? For example, aham ekam idam sarvam. Without the aham, nothing exists. Where there is no aham, we are not interested. Now see, the other day I went to somebody's house and some marriage had taken place, and by God's grace I could not go for that marriage. So they kept a huge album in front of me. And we got the Al-Qaeda album. And thereafter, the Swamiji, please see this album. I said, okay, you go and get the truth for me. No, I'll explain you. What is there to explain in the album? Then I opened it. I said, who is this Dumbo? Swamiji, this is me. observe this phenomenon. If there is a group photo, like suppose all of us are there, if our Paramahansaji takes a very nice group photo and makes a blow up, and then he says, those of you who want to buy, place the order. We'll go and see that. Mera photo kaisa? If my photo is with a crossroad, then I will not take that photograph. I am not interested in the photo. I am interested in me. One example. Second example, when first time my one article was published in a magazine. That was my first article in my life. Somebody came, Swamiji gave something. So I said, okay, start writing. And I dictated and he just took it and published. And then he got, Swamiji, you gave me that article, we have published. I said, okay, show me. Without seeing anything else, only my page. Because if one person is talking about his wife, what to tell you, I am so fed up of my wife. Every night after we finish the dinner, I have to go for a supper to the hotel. But she cooks so awful, not awesome. So when one husband is talking about his tragedy, do you think other husband will be good? His eye will come up. Better. Why better? My wife does not take food unless I come home. Have you imported her from Satyayug? No. Then I had to cook. And then she eats. See, his tragedies, they are not interesting me. My tragedy is interesting. Catch this point. When one mother talks about her child, if there is another mother, do you think she will listen? She will cut her tongue. Ito kuch bhi nahi, mera dumbo jo hai na, and then still start. Where there is no I, there is no word. Ahamidam sarvam. See friends. Therefore, ahamekamidam sarvam yomatītam niranjanam. So what is to be recognized? That let us delete this thought associated with aham. See? One technique of meditation I will tell you, try. When you are sitting quiet, thereafter come to recognize every thought has its origin in Mr. Somebody. That somebody is aham vritti, I thought. And the not I thought is only in relation to this aham vritti. And whatever importance and value this I thought has given to the not I world, those thoughts only will be gurgling very strongly. And we get influenced by them. And if we recognize this principle, that every thought which we have given importance is troubling us, then what could be the sadhana? Devaluing. And when you thus start devaluing the whole world, slowly, the not I thoughts will be minimum in number, therefore I thought will not be stronger. And a time comes when the not I thoughts are zero, the thought aspect of the I disappears, and the thought-free I, Paramatma, only remains. See friends, ahamapetakam, aham taya, spurati vrit swayam, paramapurnasam. Unless we become aware of this phenomena that is happening, we will be all the time, I. See? Suppose somebody says, Swamiji, I had gone to, Thailand this time. Do you think Swami will be quiet? No, when I went to Indonesia, was it necessary? See friends, anybody talks on any topic, we have to bring our I. Because this I is the foundation of this relative world. When this I disappears, no world. Therefore, aham ekam idam sarvam. But how is this aham not goody goody, I am baddy buddy, I am not known, everything is me. See friends, in the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, when Bhagavan Sri Krishna showed the Vishwaroop, first earlier goody goody things were shown, Arjuna was very enchanted, so nice and beautiful, so body to Chaturbuja and all the beautiful worlds and everything. Oh, so nice, so nice. And then the Lord started showing his terrible form. All the Bhishma, Drona, Jayadratha, every one of them were entering his mouth and he was biting them away. And from the gaps between the teeth, somebody's head is coming out, somebody's leg is coming out, and the Lord is with his tongue and pulling it inside. Where do you go? When the terrible form is seen by Arjuna, Arjuna gets frightened. Oh Bhavan, Ugra Rupa, who are you, the terrible one? For us, God means goody goody, forget about it. God is beyond goody goody, very, very. The water is beyond the ocean and the waves. See friends, therefore, aham eva midam sarvam. In this absolute, there is nothing like good or bad beyond, therefore, yoma atitam niranjanam, nirantaram. Where is the space? We ask this question. Where is earth, water, fire, air? Can we ask this question? Where is the space? The space is also in me. Therefore, Vyoma Atitam, that which is beyond the space and eternal presence, Nirantaram, Pashyami Kathamatmanam, then how can I talk about that I have realized or I am trying to realize? See? In one of his writings, a great saint writes, by the grace of my Guru, I have crossed the river of relative existence. And I was so happy. I just wanted to thank my Guru. I looked behind and lo, there was neither the river, nor I had crossed any distance, nor there was any Guru. There I was. It is not a journey through time. It is not a journey through space. It is not a journey which will take to a destination. It is not a journey which has ever begun. See friends, Vyoma Atitam Niranjanam. What must be the experience of space? That is our experience when the waking, dream, deep sleep and samadhi, clouds come and go. See, when the clouds come, thunder and rain, waking experience. When the clouds come, only thunder, no rains, dream experience. When there is pitch darkness, deep sleep experience. When there is a cloudless blue sky, bright samadhi experience. Because of these four kinds of experiences, nothing ever happens to the Chidakasha, the conscious space that we are. Even if we don't want, we are that. Only Vedanta can have the courage to say this. There is no sending you to the hell. If you do, you will go to hell. Even hell cannot exist without Paramatma. If the hell can exist without Paramatma, hell is more powerful. Let us go to hell. See friends, therefore, Katham Pashyami Atmanam Pratyaksham. I have seen the God or Tirohitam. I don't know where God has gone. When will I have darshan? Darshana do Ghana Shamanatha Muri. Tabla Peti is enough. See friends. Therefore, the more you are approaching your own being, we first get into a mode of avoiding the noise. Then we come to the silence. And thereafter we go beyond the noise and the silence. The noise never disturbs us, and the silence never helps us. Like the water never gets drowned in the ocean, nor the water gets broken when the waves break. Then we have reached the water level. In the same manner, here, Pashyami katham atmanam pratyaksham va tirohitam. I am seeing God with my own eyes. If there is a cataract, you cannot see God. See, Kenopanishad said, Yash chakshusha na pashyati, yena chakshugamshu pashyati, tadeva brahmatvam vidhi nedam yadidam upasate. That because of which the eyes have the power to see. That is the reality, not the one which is seen by the eyes. Therefore, Pashyami kathamatmanam pratyaksham va tirohitam tvameva mekam hi katham na buddhyase samam hi sarveshu vimrushtamavayam sadoditosi tvamakandita prabho divacha naktam cha katham hi manyase. Now the teacher, out of compassion and love, is talking to the student. Tvam eva ekam hi katham na buddhyase. Arre Buddhu, why don't you understand? You are that. Katham na buddhyase. Why don't you recognize your own experience? How can anybody be told that you are? Can it be told, see by your eyes your presence? Can we tell, see by your nose smelling whether you are present or not? It cannot be. Can you tell, feel presence? Can you say that, understand intellectually, conceptually the divinity? It cannot be. Katham na buddhyase. Why don't you recognize your own presence? See, friends, there is nothing to be done. There is nothing to be undone. See, friends, tvameva mekam hi katham na buddhyase. And what is that? Samam hi sarveshi vivrushtam avyayam. And this one reality is common denominator in all things and beings. See, friends, like all the shapes and forms are many. And all the shapes and forms are supported by the formless, the shapeless space. So space is in all the shapes and the forms. To understand the space, we have to transcend the shapes and the forms. The other day one girl came with one of my books. Swamiji sign. So I wrote love, sign and today. Swamiji, this is not today's day. I said, look here, I have written, I won't change. No, I want special message for me. I said, inside, is it a massage or what? My special message for me. So I wrote, if you can understand my silence, you will understand my words. Swamiji, this is very difficult. I said, give me the book back, take your money. See, friends, it is extremely necessary to recognize truth is not an object to be perceived through the sense organs. It is not an event to be created through the organs of action. It is not a feeling to be experienced through the mind. It is not a concept to be understood by the intellect. And therefore, katham na buddhyase, samam hi sarveshu bhuteshu. Now what is the common denominator in everything and being? Very simple, friends, not difficult. Only one thing is common, and that is existence. Everything is only existing, including the absence. Don't we say sometime, Oh, you are very conspicuous by your absence in the marriage party. So absence also is recognized only as existence. And this existence has no barrier, whether it is the inanimate world or the animate world. The stone exists, the tree exists. Whether it is the stability or the movement, the space exists stable, air moves. Everywhere, this is the common denominator. And we are attending. When everything is negated, that which has negated everything continues to exist. Samam hi sarveshu. Therefore, samam hi sarveshu vimrishtam avyayam sadoditosi tvam akhanditaha prabho. Hey Bhagwan, hey Prabhu, you are sada uditaha asi. You can never experience your absence even for a moment. We experience our absence of the waking in the dream and other three states. We experience the absence of the dream in the other three states, but we can never experience our own absence. Therefore, sada uditaha asi. There is nothing like you are born and gone. The light will come and go. Electricity remains. Waves will come and go. Water remains. See friends, forms will be formed and destroyed. The space remains. The sounds will be created and quietened. The silence remains. This eternal substratum is eternally present. Therefore, sada uditaha asi and tvam akhanditaha prabho. You are akhandita, without khanda, without parts, without breach. See? Waking begins, stays, disappears. Dream begins, stays, disappears. Deep sleep begins, stays, disappears. Samadhi begins, ends. Lecture begins, ends. Thank God. But there is one principle which has never begun, which has never modified, which has never ended. Now just cognize this statement. Do we have the experience of the beginning? Do we have the experience of modification? Do we have the experience of death? And do we have the experience of absence? But the old habit of doing something or the other, we start doing spiritual practice. Be friends, be yourself rather than becoming somebody. Therefore, sada uditosi tvam akhandita prabho. Divacha nattam cha katham hi manyase. For the space, there is no meaning whether it is a day or a night. When there is a night, will the space feel emptiness? आज कोई भी नहीं दिख रहा. And when there is a day out, so many people are moving. The illuminator is never influenced by what is illuminated. It is a thumb rule. The light illuminates all of us. Whether we are here or we are not here, it makes no difference to the light. If few more people are added, it is not a burden on the light. If all of us go, it is not a loss. Exactly the same way. Whether waking and dream experiences come, it is not an addition to the conscious space that we are. When there is a deep sleep and samadhi, there is no loss. This eternal principle has to be recognized as one's own being. But those who are workaholics, those who are all the time living at a body level, they are unable to rise above. And for them the problem is, okay Baba, we are Brahman, what next? It is something like, you tell me, you go to the 5-star hotel, I tell you such a lovely meal. Even the menu you see is so beautiful. So you go there, come out. Hey, how was it? What, yaar? I stayed there for 2 hours. Still I am hungry. Didn't you see the menu? I saw the menu. I read it. Contest ho gaya. But hunger is still there. Because you did not order and eat the food. In the same manner, when you realize the truth, you will not ask this question. Suppose I am Brahman, what will happen? All happening will stop. See, friends. Therefore, sada uditaha asi diva chalaktam cha khatam ye manne se. What you talk about realization, diva, and naktam, night, non-realization. Both of them are only at the level of the mind. We only imagine I am miserable. We only imagine I am happy. Then the mind is enfolded as in deep sleep. We are neither happy nor miserable. Come to cognize this play of mind and discover that you are the source of all bliss in this world. Atmanam satatam vidhi sarvatraikam nirantaram aham dhyata param dheyam akhandam khandete katham. So, atmanam satatam vidhi tatam satatam, continuous. Tat is both a verb as well as a pronoun. Tatam means tanoti iti tat, that which can be expanded. Like tantu vadyam, veena, the thread is continuous. If it is broken, no music comes. Tatam. And second is tatam means that which can be applied to anybody or anything. Tat, that. So that man, that woman, that book, that place, it's a common pronoun. In the same manner, Atmanam Satatam Vidhi. Come to cognize this unbroken existence that you are. Satatam Vidhi. This is what the truth is. Not the man, the woman, the young, the poor, or the Hindu or the Muslim. No. We are not talking about that. Atmanam Satatam Vidhi. Come to cognize this unbroken, continuous presence and Sarvatra Ekam Nirantaram. And it is ever the same. Now just cognize your own experience. We can never experience that we have grown in age. We can never experience. When the people tell us for the first time, uncle, auntie, dada, dadi, then we get the first shock in our life. Don't call me Dadaji before everybody, call me uncle. But Dadaji, you are Dadaji. Chup nahi yaar. One day, I will tell you something which you will never believe. One young boy, must be about 20 or 22, he was driving me in his car. So I was praising him. I said, hey, you are so lucky, you have got such a lovely mom and good dad, and you have got such a freedom and all that. Immediately what he says, Swamiji, don't call my mom, I hate her. I said, why man, don't say like that. He became very serious. And I said, now please park the car and get out of that attack. He was really furious. And he said, my sister, who is 10 years older than me, when she got married, they had no affair, got married, then my mother did not allow her to have the child. Because I don't want to be called as a grandmother so early in my life. Imagine. See, friends, where we are caught up? Only in the body? Therefore, when we come to recognize this principle, Sarvatra Ekam Nirantaram, we can never have any experience. That we are born, we grow, we change. No. All changes are established with reference to an unchanging reference. See? Nirantaram, and therefore, Aham Dhyata Param Dheyam. Why you are getting lost? Now I am doing meditation. On what? The God. So we start doing meditation. And after meditation is over, What did you get? Headache. Terrible headache. And here there is some kind of kujli, I feel swamped. There was one student many years before. He went to all the doctors. Some CT scan, CAT scan, dog scan, everything was. Then he said, Swamiji, I don't know what I should do. I said, what happened? I have done all kinds of tests, but my headache doesn't go. What should I do? I said, when I talk to somebody, I got two conditions. If these two conditions don't fulfill, I will never talk to you throughout your life or my life. I am very clear. I don't want to waste my time on you. Agreed? Yes. No discussion, no argument? Yes. Let's sit down. Number one, diagnosis. Spiritual poisoning. Number two, stop doing meditation, stop chanting the mantra, stop studying the scripture, stop going to the temple, stop going to satsanga, and lead a normal life of a young man. Go for the movie, eat nice food, and relax totally. Don't ask any question, go. After about 10 days time, he came back. Swamiji, I said, don't tell me anything. I know what happened. What happened? I said, your headache has gone and your ear tension on the back side, these lordosis dorsal muscles, they are gone and you feel relaxed. I said, you know what is happening? Like if you take a cloth and if the one thread has come out, but the other side the thread is not cut. And if you pull, how the cloth becomes, together, exactly this is what happened with you. You have not first practiced disidentification from the body. Your mind is still holding on to the body, and by the force of the pranayama, there is all wrinkles which have come on your mind, and therefore you are suffering. That is not the way to do meditation. See, friends, we force ourselves. No. First principle in meditation, you are not going to gain anything. Tyagi naike amrutatva mana. Even a simple thing like sleep, unless you reject everything, you don't get even sleep. Do you think the realization will happen? We are holding on to this world. And how did we hold on to this world? By holding on to the body identification. So unless body identification has to be rejected, is fully established in our mind, doing meditation is a self-torture. Therefore here the teacher says, Aham dhyata param dheya. As if the God is other than me. There was one lady, she wrote a letter to our Swamiji many years before, must be 30 years before. And Swamiji wrote, a dog was trying to catch his tail and he was going round and round and fell down. Now this lady got a letter. She came to Swamiji. See, Bada Swamiji, I wrote him such a simple and nice letter inquiring about meditation and God realization, and see what reply he has given. He always makes fun of me. I said, you are making fun of him. He has replied, you have no way to understand. Like a dog tries to catch his tail, goes round and falls down. In the same manner, I want to do meditation to God. Where will you go? The struggle is like the eyes are trying to see themselves. Try to see your own eyes. Try. With a guarantee you will fail. See, friends. When this is the tragedy with the eyes, what is the tragedy with the mind? I want to see the mind. And then I saw in my meditation, first green color, then it became yellow, then everywhere there was red. Other person says, these are three gunas of Prakriti. Because it's all, mechanical. So when the other fellow said, I was watching, I enjoy my life. Such a great fun in the spirituality. There is no better cartoons in the world other than the spiritual. So I was watching her. Swamiji, what was that? I said, I feel you must have been standing before the traffic light for very long. And therefore, those impressions were deep on your mind, and when you sit for meditation, the lights on, and traffic khulta hi nahi. Friends, these are all the tricks of the mind. Please attend it. Mind doesn't want to die. Therefore, the mind either takes us in the salties of the past or doesn't allow us to be in the present. So both on projecting, if I go to that cave and do meditation. Because every spiritual seeker is a victim of autobiography of a yogi. Everyone. And there they have read, in that Ranikhet, there is a cave. And there Lahari Mahasaya was staying. And his guru guided him with a lantern in his hand. And now this fellow feels, I am also like that. I want to go in the cave and do meditation. One young seeker came to me the other. Swamiji, I want to go Himalayas and do meditation in the cave. I said, before you go to Himalayas, try in our Karla cave. Try. And there is one Ek Nira Devi temple. Next to that, there are many caves. I said, I know that Panditji, you go there. There's nobody in object. He went there. And after going there, Panditji came after the evening. He was Ekameva Dvitiya. No bathroom, no windows, no doors, darkness, and all the mosquitoes, and all the creatures, sound, the crickets, everything was happening. Within half an hour he came down. Next day, Swamiji, it was so terrible. There is no bathroom, there is no light. How can I stay there? I said, look here, you want a cave, is it not? Yes, that is what I heard and read in the books. Go home. On your room, you write cave and enter. It's only in your mind, man. It is not outside. Don't we do the same thing? We have a big bungalow and we write there, Parlo Kuti. This is not a leaf, the pan ka khane ka patta hai. Parlo Kuti. Friends, don't get carried away by the whims and fancy of the mind. Therefore here, aham dhyata param dheyam, akhandam khandite katham. Why do you create division between you and Paramatma? Come to recognize. See? That is what the teacher wrote. The dog is trying to catch his own tail, goes in round and round and round. We sit for meditation. Bhagwan to nahi, headache zarur mil jata hai. These days, too much of headache. Why meditation? I get some kind of chunky going on. What I should do? Switch off. Chunky ruk jayegi. Please remember, don't get all these experiences happen. I am not denying that they happen. But they are at the level of Prakriti. Don't get carried away by them. Hold on to the water, not to the waves, not to the ocean. And when we thus, there is Gaganopamoham, in this whole Avadhuta Gita, 100 times this particular expression has come. Be like space. This is the only meditation. Play. Space. What it is like being space. The first thing that will happen, the shape of the body and the body will disappear from your mind. When the body, shape and form disappears, the concept in and out will become invalid. Our experience is, I is inside the body and the world is outside the body. This concept of in and out is called as the world or the samsara. In the train in the earlier days when we used to go, there used to be a lot of rush, 3-tier compartments, areas. So when you get into the train, all wait away, don't touch me, this is my seat, you are sitting there. But I am going out to Pune, so what? You get into other compartment, this is I am Jagara starts. And then slowly the train starts, lullaby starts, heat begins, the containers open, the food comes out, disappears in the stomach, and the lullaby slowly puts you to sleep, and everybody goes to sleep. Thereafter, my legs go into somebody's lap, no objection. Earlier, don't touch me. Somebody's hand goes in my pocket, no objection. See? The whole world disappears. Therefore, friends, whenever there is a concept of in and out, the world begins. Now recognize this experience. When we are in deep sleep, we are inside the body or outside the body. We are inside the house or outside the house. We are in Bombay or outside Bombay. Everything disappears. Because this homogeneous, undivided experience is the truth. You must have known there are prayers for the Prithvi, the earth. Samudravasane Devi Parvatastana Mandale Vishnu Patni Namastutyam Padasparasham Kshamaswame. Prayer for the Prithvi. For the water there is a prayer. For the fire there is a prayer. For the air there is a prayer. For sun there is a prayer. There is no prayer for space. Do you know why? Freely available. And the self is always available. Even the space we cannot explain what space is. Words fail. Therefore, unless we come to recognize this principle that meditation should never be done, let us live in meditation. The whole Bhagavad Gita talks about this principle in 3 places. One, in the 2nd chapter, living in meditation. Number 2, in the 12th chapter, living in meditation. Advaita sarva bhutana maitra karuna evacha. Number 3, in the 14th chapter, prakasham cha pravrittim cha moham evacha pandava na dveshti sampravrittani na nivrittani kankshati. He who is living through the 3 gunas of the Prakriti, but he is no more influenced by the limitations of the 3 gunas, he is living in meditation. When we do meditation, it will begin, create problems and disappear. But when we live in meditation 24/7, then alone we have recognized the real meaning of meditation. Meditation is not a verb. It is not an action. It is an experience. Like we don't do waking. We are in waking and then do the things. We don't do dreaming. We are in the dream and then do the things. We don't do deep sleeping. We are in the deep sleep and then snore. Nobody can snore while awake. There used to be one lady, she used to sit right in the front and comfortably snore. So they asked, Swamiji, why don't you tell her? I said, why should I tell her? I get a nice harmonium try to comfort. So that lady, Swamiji, she snores at, in your lectures. I said, it's my fault. No, Swamiji, I don't sleep. I was listening to your lecture. Only thing, while listening also I can snore. Now, how can you cheat somebody? Unless you are sleeping, you cannot snore in the same manner. Like we have to be in waking, then do the things. We have to be in the dream, then do the things. We have to be in the deep sleep, only then we can snore. In the same manner, we have to be in meditation 24/7. Then, dukkeshu anudvignamanaha, sukheshu vigataspruhaha, vitaraga bhayakrodhaha, stitadihi muni uchyate. Then only our wisdom will remain steady. See? Otherwise, during meditation, calm. After meditation, frustration. No. It is a 24/7 experience. Therefore, here it is said, Dhyata dhyanam param deyam akhandam khandate katham. How can you break this experiencer and the experiencer, the meditator and the meditated upon? They are not two. न जातो न मृतोऽसित्वं न ते देह कदाचन सर्वं ब्रह्मेति विख्यातं ब्रवीति बहुधा श्रुतिः। न जातः न मृतः असित्वं. Never were you born, never you did die. See friends, how simple it is. One of the technique is tracing back. All these techniques come in many extremely deep books on Tantra Shastra. In Kathopanishad also, it's called a Laya Prakriya. Suppose today you are 70. You have your image about yourself. Image number 1. Go back. 10 years before, 60. Another image. Another 10 years back, 50, 40, 30. Go up to one age. So many images. Go in the womb and then go beyond the womb. Should we say that we started from nothing? Can anything begin from nothing? See friends, so which of the images we are? That reality, it is supporting all the images, but which doesn't have any image. That effortless presence reveals, and only once we have to recognize this, once in lifetime. Bhagavan Krishna says, Sthitva syam antakalepi brahma nirvanam ruchyati. Even at the time of your departure from the body, even that moment also, you click this and done. Brahma Nirvana. Because this experience is not through the sense organs, not through the mind, not through the intellect. Therefore, there is no fear of loss of this experience because of lack of the instrument of experience. If somebody has lost his hearing ability, he will never have the experience of the sound. If somebody has lost his memory, he will never have the experience of his childhood. But this experience, being beyond the scope and the limitations of all the means of knowledge, this experience will never, never disappear. Only once we are therefore, na jatosi na mrutosi tvam na te dehaha kadachana, and this body was never yours. This point I told you 100 times. The body is not created by us. Our body never listens to us. Who wants to be ill? And yet the body falls ill. And yet the body I am. And we are very intelligent people. Living as the body, by the body, for the body. That is not the right way. Na te deha kadachana. Then sarvam brahmeti vikyatam. All the scriptures very elaborately and clearly explain that everything is absolute truth alone, and this is the reality, and all the bodies appear and disappear. Like all the waves appear and disappear on the surface of the water, because of the addition of appearance of the waves, the ocean doesn't become heavy, and when all the waves die away, the ocean doesn't become poor. This infinite reality to which nothing can be added or could be subtracted is the truth. Hold on to this, that's all. And when we hold on to this reality, everything else becomes almost zero level. No gain, no loss. Sukha dukhe same krutva labha labho jayaje. Everything is leavened, and in that absolute being there is nothing but joy. Bodhachamihi. Sabhayabhyantorosi tvam Shivas sarvatra sarvada itastada katam bhantaha pradhavasi pishachavat. We will see it tomorrow. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari